Alright everybody, so what you're going to need to do this is you're going to need the steering wheel you're replacing it with. In my case, I'm just using a kind of refurbished old one. Ignore that right there. I got a really good deal on this, so I'm not going to complain. You're going to need some thread locker here, which I have the orange, which is the high strength removable. I'm pretty sure you can use medium strength thread locker as well, but I just wanted to be safe. A 16 millimeter, that's what the forums say. And then a screwdriver to get these clips right here to release the airbag. All right, since we're gonna be working with the airbag, we want to disconnect the battery here, which this is a 10 millimeter socket. And we're turning it the right way. And it's gone forever. All right, so once you take that off, you're gonna wanna stick it onto the side so that, we don't get power by it accidentally touching. I am gonna be setting that aside so that I don't lose it. And I'm gonna try to get a magnet so I can try to get my bolt or my nut that flew down here. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you though. All right, so after you've disconnected the battery, you're gonna wanna go in here, make sure nothing works. Horns off, no, none of the lights, nothing, okay. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your screwdriver and you're gonna stick it in these holes right here. I think this screwdriver might be too big though. I'm gonna say maybe. I'm gonna say yes, hold on. All right, so I'm gonna give a demonstration on this one here. You're gonna wanna get it into the hole, which you should be able to see it coming out of right in there. All right, you're basically gonna wanna angle it up so that that mechanism right there moves. That's what's gonna be releasing the airbag. All right, so all you're gonna need to do is get under this with the screwdriver. Let me try not to stab myself with said screwdriver. Yeah, so once you can get this to pop up, Jesus Christ, there we go. Once you can get that to pop off, you can just pull this out. And there goes the airbag, Jesus Christ. This is like a bomb, don't do that. All right, and then there's gonna be one more thing you're gonna wanna take off. It's that little bolt right there. If it'll focus. Yeah, you're gonna wanna take that off. Let me grab my torque socket, because that is a torque socket. That's the ground strap, so you don't wanna, accidentally rip that off when you're trying to take this off. All right, so I've looked it up. I've tested. It is going to be a Torx 10 that goes into this. Honestly, you don't really even need to use a ratchet. It's probably gonna be just like, yeah, I can loosen this with my hand. Yeah, so you can just use a screwdriver if you've got a Torx screwdriver, or, a ratchet if you need to. And if you're like me and you lose things often, I like to just put them in the cup holders. Ignore what's in there, I don't know. So now what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to take this off, which I'm pretty sure is a 16 millimeter, that's what the forums say. So we're gonna go ahead and get our breaker bar, because this is probably gonna be on there pretty tight. So I'll cut to that. All right, and if you're like me and you snap these all the time, I just get the ones that are impact rated because I'm, just obviously a big man. All right, so I got my 16 in my breaker bar, and I am going to be opening this door all the way so I can get some better leverage. Because this thing, I got a feeling is gonna be stuck on there. I can't do this with two hands, or with one hand, so I'm gonna have to set the phone down. All right, so it was actually pretty easy for mine. That's a bit concerning, but that might also be why it was making sounds when it was turning. I'm just unscrewing it now with the bad boy makeshift screwdriver that I like to use. Now I can just use my fingers. All right, so there's no thread locker that I can see on there, but we're definitely gonna be adding some just so that it's not as loose as the next time. But you're not going to want to take it out all the way. You're actually going to want to leave it threaded on a little bit so you can pull this off a lot easier without punching yourself in the face. Okay, so I've tightened it about maybe 6 rotations on, so it's got a little bit of grip, but it's still able to be moved easily. What you're going to want to do now is you're going to use both hands and just pull if you don't have a puller, which I don't, so. All right, and after a bit of gentle persuasion, here, I'm going to use my knees. There it goes. What the f? All right, so after a nice clock spring replaceal, now we're ready to go. All right, so now with it loosely put on there, we can go ahead and reconnect these to the clock spring up there. Perfect. And then now all we get to do is screw this down and put the airbag back on. Also, not sure if I mentioned, but these little nubbins in here, you want to make sure that they line up with the holes right there. So, all right, so you're gonna want to get your thread locker now and put that on the bolt that holds it on. Medium strength thread locker should be fine, but I went for high strength removable just because it is the steering wheel. I don't know. I might just be paranoid. All right, so as you can see, I put some thread locker on there, and even though I got the gel, it came out more watery. So I probably put on way too much, but whatever. Whenever you put these in, you want to hand thread them first so you don't cross thread it, because this is kind of important not to cross thread. All right, so I've got this down to 46 foot-pounds, because that's what the forums say. Now we just need to put the airbag back in. And now I should mention that putting the airbag, since it's out, it's probably now the best time to clean it, clean around the crevices, because you're never going to get really a better chance. Essentially, install is the opposite of, you know, what we did when we took it out. The black goes to the black, and the green and yellow goes to the green, so it's pretty self-explanatory. All right, so once you've got those put in, all we really need to do now is just do the opposite of what we did when we took it out. Make sure that the wires are not in the way. All right, you just kind of got to push it in there and not be a little bitch like I was being. Once you've got that, you've pretty much got it all installed, and you've got your new steering wheel instead of your old crusty one that is falling apart. Yeah. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I got more stuff coming up for the E46 now that I've got it, and we might have some more stuff coming up for the E90. I'm not sure. I kind of want to do some suspension upgrades, but a lot of E46 content coming up. So if you liked the video, like it. If you didn't, I guess you can dislike it. I'm not going to judge you. Leave a comment if you have any suggestions of what I could have done better, or if you have any tips or tricks for anybody else. Thank you.